from your breaking news and weather authority. This is 13 Wham News This Morning on Rochester's CW.
Well, the country's economic troubles are affecting so many of us. And let me start with a question here, because we're talking about a book. And the question is, what is the American dream? When you see a book called Renewing the American Dream, you might wonder what that even means. Well, three men put this together with a very bold idea: restore the economy and the actual American dream. I spoke with one of the authors. His name is Frank Islam, one of the authors of the book, Renewing the American Dream. Take a look. Frank, hello from Rochester.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Thanks for taking the time to join us this morning. And I want to start just with the title of the book here, Renewing the American Dream. And on the inside, you say rather boldly that this could be the 21st century equivalent of Thomas Paine's Common Sense. So let's start with the title. What is an American dream to you? I think a lot of people will define it differently. How do you define the American dream?
Well, you said it very nicely. The American, everybody has a different definition of the American dream. To me, the definition is very simple. It is about having the opportunity to do the best you can, and you should be recognized and rewarded for that. It is the chance to be successful, to have economic security. The fundamental elements of American dream, to me, is to have a good education. As a result of that, you can have a good job. You can start small businesses that provides food on the table, that puts the roof on one's head, and then you can retire with the dignity and have economic security. That's what the American dream is all about, to me.
And this book,
basic fundamental things.
Okay, and the book here, the premise is built on the fact that you guys see the last decade as a decade of serious decline in America when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to the fact that we're now a nation of much more debt. We're not making goods as much as we used to be. All kinds of problems that you highlight. And yet, you know, Frank, so many people want to make this a Republican's fault or the Democrats' fault or President Bush's fault or President Obama's fault. Do you think we're so polarized that it's hard to find real solutions when we're so busy trying to make it a political blame game?
Well, I don't think it's going to solve our problems, and we have to respect other people's ideas. We cannot. We have to come together. And you know what? The reason we wrote this book is because that after the 9/11, we thought everybody will come together: the business leader, as well as the politicians, as well as the community leaders, and so on and so forth, for a shared venture, so that we all have a shared goal, so we can solve our problems. As you know, the 2000 to 2009 was the decade of decline. We had a $1.4 trillion deficit per year. It's still rising, and we have 1 out of 5 Americans were unemployed, underemployed. 1 out of 8 Americans were not able to pay their mortgages. 1 out of 9 Americans, as a matter of fact, were not even to make the minimum payment on their credit card bill. So we thought that politicians and the businesses will come together. But we were disappointed and dismayed that they did not. So there was an urgency in our part that we should write this book. We pursued it ourselves, that we are in this together. You know what? That the American dream is at risk if we don't come together. The America that the Ronald Reagan once called the shining city upon hill has slipped into the shadow and is continuously slipping. 3 of us have the background and experience, and we come from a different background and can provide this blended perspective, balance, and business perspective, not the policy perspective, to renew America, to come up with solutions, what we need to do in terms of creating jobs, spurring economic growth, and provide economic recovery, especially from the manufacturing sector.
And I'll wrap with just this brief question here. Again, the book's called Renewing the American Dream, and you bring that business perspective in. If I'm not a business owner, will I still have a lot to gain from reading your book? What is the intended audience for Renewing the American Dream?
The intended audience is everyone, every citizen needs to be engaged and involved, and their voices need to be heard, no matter who they are, whether they're business people, whether they're social people. Everybody needs to be engaged and involved. And this is how we're going to solve our problems, working together.
Well, if this is truly a 21st century equivalent of Thomas Paine's Common Sense, it's going to make a major impact. We appreciate spending a few minutes with you this morning. Thank you, Frank. Good luck with the book, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you.